Have you ever found yourself staring at the fragments of mixed signals, trying to piece together the truth about where you stand with him? The uncertainty can feel like navigating a storm without a compass, leaving you wondering if you're truly significant in his life or just a passing shadow. Brave women like you, resilient and powerful, don't deserve to live in that ambiguity. Let me share something transformative. The path to clarity doesn't lie in guessing or chasing. It lies in understanding, in mastering a deeper layer of connection that can make him chase you. Here's the truth. Men often express emotions in actions, not words. They live behind a veil of stoicism, guarding their vulnerabilities and speaking a language that goes unnoticed by those who haven't learned to decode it. But when you understand the teachings of Dark Stoic Psychology, an intricate fusion of timeless philosophy and human behavior, you unlock the power to see through his defenses, into the essence of what drives him. It's not manipulation, it's mastery. And the moment you begin to recognize his subtle gestures for what they are, you don't just hold his interest, you captivate his soul. Think of relationships as a battlefield, not one of conflict, but of strategy and self-possession. A man rooted in Stoicism values strength, control, and purpose. But even the most guarded hearts yearn for connection. By understanding how these philosophies shape his psychology, you can inspire him to see you not as an option, but as his answer. Brave women understand that power isn't in demanding attention. It's in commanding respect. Let's get real for a moment. Have you ever heard the saying, "Still waters run deep"? Men's minds are those waters, calm on the surface, but teeming with unspoken fears, dreams, and desires beneath. Dark Stoic Psychology equips you with the tools to dive into those depths with grace and precision. When you approach him with the calm confidence of someone who doesn't need validation, who can see his worth and her own simultaneously, you become unforgettable. A man doesn't fall for a woman who needs him. He falls for the woman who compels him to be better. Imagine this. Instead of second-guessing his actions, you recognize the significance of the moments he shares his fears, dreams, or even the unfiltered messiness of his day. You don't just respond. You rise, meeting his energy with your own strength, showing him that vulnerability isn't weakness, but a bridge to something deeper. That's the essence of Dark Stoic Psychology, empowering you to forge connections based on trust and admiration, not dependency. Today, you begin this transformation. You'll stop chasing answers and start embodying the energy that makes him run toward you. Brave women know their worth. They don't wait to be chosen. They choose themselves first, and in doing so, invite the kind of connection that lasts. If this resonates, hit like, subscribe, and join us for the journey ahead. Write this in the comments. I am powerful, I am enough. Let this be your mantra, because you are. Number 1. When a man brings you into his inner circle, he's handing you the key to his world. Have you ever felt like you're standing at the edge of something profound in a relationship, but the door to his world remains only slightly ajar? You catch glimpses, fragments of his life that leave you wondering, why hasn't he invited me fully in? What's holding him back? For bold, fearless women like you, This moment of uncertainty isn't a reason to shrink. It's a challenge to rise. The answer lies not in waiting for his words, but in understanding the silent language he speaks through actions, the language of Dark Stoic Psychology. When a man decides to bring you into his inner circle, his trusted friends, his family, the people who truly know him, he's not just introducing you, he's handing you the key to his world. And make no mistake, brave women, this isn't a casual gesture. This is his way of saying, I see you, I trust you, you matter. A man doesn't allow just anyone into that sacred space, because to him, his inner circle is his fortress. It's where he's real, raw, and unfiltered. Letting you in is an act of vulnerability and intention. Think of his inner circle as the roots of a tree, strong, unseen, and essential to his stability. When he invites you into that space, he's testing whether you can become part of his foundation. This act is not about impressing you. It's about revealing himself. Men often communicate trust, not through grand declarations, but through actions. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that a man's world is built on layers of trust, logic, and deliberate choices. To be invited into that world is to be elevated to a place of significance. But let's address the question that might already be forming in your mind. Why does this matter so much? Isn't meeting his friends or family just part of dating? Absolutely not. For a man who guards his heart with Stoicism, this act carries profound meaning. His inner circle isn't just a collection of people. They are the mirrors reflecting his truest self. By bringing you into their presence, he's not just showing you his world, he's showing his world you. Now here's the part where your strength, your resilience, your power as a woman comes into play. When this moment happens, you must step into it with confidence and authenticity. Be unapologetically yourself. Show him that you belong not by trying to fit in, but by standing tall in your own truth. His inner circle will see what he already sees in you. Someone who is not afraid to embrace her power. Someone who makes his world richer simply by being in it. And remember this, your presence in his world has the potential to change the way he views his own life. Dark Stoic Psychology reveals that men are deeply influenced by the energy you bring into their lives. If you exude strength, warmth, and unwavering self-worth, he will find himself drawn to you in ways he can't resist. This isn't about winning approval. It's about showing him that you are a woman worth building a future with. So, what should you do when the door to his world opens? Walk through it with grace. But don't let it be the final destination. This is your moment to connect with him on a deeper level, to show him that you are more than someone he dates. You are someone who inspires him, challenges him, and makes him better. And as you do, watch how his trust evolves into something unshakable. He won't just let you in. He'll fight to keep you there. Write this in the comments. I hold the key to his world. Let this be your declaration of confidence and power. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for the next strategy that will empower you to navigate relationships with wisdom and strength. Brave women, your journey is just beginning. Number 2, if a man shares his deepest dreams, he's offering you a glimpse of his soul. Don't miss it. Have you ever sat across from a man and wondered if he sees you as just a fleeting part of his world or someone he's beginning to envision in his future? His words may dance around small talk, but then, out of nowhere, he shares something extraordinary, his dreams. In that moment, it feels like he's pulling back the curtains to reveal a part of himself few get to see. But what does it mean? Brave women like you, who are strong enough to recognize the weight of these moments, understand this. When a man shares his deepest dreams, he's inviting you to see the blueprint of his soul, and how you respond can either ignite an unshakable connection or let that moment slip through your fingers. A man's dreams are not just idle fantasies. They're his inner compass, guiding his steps and shaping his future. When he shares them with you, it's not casual, it's monumental. For men rooted in Stoic philosophy, dreams are sacred. They're not scattered in every direction, but carefully guarded, reserved only for those they truly value. This is where Dark Stoic Psychology becomes your greatest ally. It teaches you to recognize these openings for what they are, rare windows into his psyche, where his vulnerabilities, ambitions, and fears converge. It's not manipulation. It's understanding his psychology so deeply that he feels compelled to run after you. Picture this. You're walking under the stars, and he starts to talk about building something greater, maybe a business, a home, or a life of freedom. His words shift subtly from I to we, hinting that he sees you as part of the picture. That shift, as quiet as it seems, is thunderous in its significance. It's his way of saying, I trust you enough to let you see my unpolished dreams. Are you someone who will stand with me, or will you brush them aside? This is where brave women rise, women who understand the strength it takes for a man to bear the part of himself he often hides, even from his closest friends. Dreams, after all, are fragile things. Sharing them is a risk. They can be misunderstood, dismissed, or criticized. But when a man reveals his vision for the future, he's not asking for someone to fix his path or validate his choices. He's asking for someone to believe in him. This is the moment to show him that you are not just a woman who listens, but one who inspires. Dark Stoic Psychology reminds us that Stoic men value action over words. They aren't impressed by empty praise or hollow agreement. Instead, they're drawn to women who reflect their strength while nurturing their aspirations. Ask yourself, how do you respond when he shares his dreams? Do you genuinely listen, or do you let the moment pass? Your response matters more than you realize. Imagine he tells you about a vision of traveling the world, starting his own company, or creating a legacy. If you reply with indifference or skepticism, you risk dimming the spark he feels when he's with you. But if you respond with curiosity and encouragement, saying something like, "That's bold. I love how fearless you are. How can we bring that vision closer?" You're not just supporting him, you're cementing your place in his journey. Think of his dreams as the roots of a tree. They anchor his identity and drive him forward. But they also need fertile ground to grow. Your role isn't to water them endlessly or uproot your life to fit into his. It's to show him that you respect the roots while standing tall as your own tree. just as powerful, just as unshakable. It's in this balance of independence and support that the most profound connections are born. Let me remind you of this undeniable truth. The strongest men fall for women who challenge them to dream bigger, to aim higher, and to become more. When he looks at you, he should see someone who amplifies his vision, not someone who fades into the background. By embracing Dark Stoic Psychology, you'll learn to communicate in a way that resonates with his deepest values. You'll embody the kind of energy that makes him see the future as incomplete without you in it. And don't underestimate the power of your own dreams. If he's sharing his vision, it's an invitation for you to do the same. High-value connections thrive on mutual ambition. When you share your aspirations with confidence, you show him that you're not just along for his ride. You're carving your own path and inviting him to walk it with you. That dynamic, fearless energy is what keeps a man running after you. Number 3. When a man reveals his past, he's testing if you're strong enough to accept him. Have you ever been with a man who starts peeling back the layers of his past, revealing pieces of himself he's kept hidden from the world? Maybe he shares a regret, a heartbreak, or even a mistake that still lingers in his mind. In that moment, you might wonder, why now? Why me? Brave women, here's the truth that many overlook. When a man shares his past with you, he's not just telling you a story. He's testing your strength, your ability to see him as he truly is, scars and all. It's a moment of profound vulnerability, and what you do with it can either fortify the connection or push him away. Men, especially those guided by Stoicism, are like fortresses. They guard their emotions with walls of logic and silence, believing that vulnerability is a weakness. So, when he lets you into his emotional archives, he's offering you something rare and powerful, his trust. This is where Dark Stoic Psychology becomes your greatest ally. It teaches us that understanding the hidden depths of a man's mind isn't about manipulation. It's about empowerment. You're not just hearing his past. You're stepping into the raw essence of what shaped him. And that's a privilege reserved for women of strength, not hesitation. Imagine this. His past is like a weathered, old book. The pages are tattered. Some passages are scribbled out, and a few chapters are downright messy. When he hands you that book, he's asking, will you still hold this? Will you see its worth despite the imperfections? Brave women don't flinch at those imperfections. They read with curiosity, understanding that every flaw carries a lesson, a piece of his soul. You're not here to judge the book. You're here to understand the man who wrote it. But let's be clear. He's not looking for pity or solutions. Men grounded in Stoicism value resilience. They share their past not because they need someone to fix it, but because they want to know if you're strong enough to stand beside them. Are you the woman who sees the storms he's weathered and still believes in his potential? Or are you the one who recoils, making him retreat back into his shell? Dark Stoic Psychology reveals that a man's openness is his ultimate test. It's his way of asking, can you handle the truth of who I am? This is where your power shines. Your response isn't just about listening. It's about how you hold that moment. Do you meet him with empathy, showing him that you're not afraid of his past? Or do you brush it off, inadvertently signaling that his vulnerability was a mistake? Brave women know that strength doesn't lie in avoiding discomfort. It lies in embracing it with grace and confidence. When he opens up about his struggles, reflect his courage back to him. Say, "I respect the strength it took to share that with me. Thank you for trusting me." These words aren't just comforting, they're empowering. They show him that his past doesn't scare you because you're a woman who knows her own strength. At this point, you might be asking, but what if his past surprises or unsettles me? That's where Dark Stoic Psychology guides you. It teaches that no one is without flaws, and understanding is the bridge to connection. Instead of reacting emotionally, lean into curiosity. Ask him, "What did you learn from that experience?" Or, "How did that shape who you are today?" These questions don't just deepen the conversation. They show him that you see his past as part of his growth, not his identity. Let me remind you, brave women, this isn't about carrying his baggage. It's about showing him that you're not afraid to walk beside him as he carries it. A man doesn't open up to just anyone. When he chooses to share his shadows, he's saying, "I see strength in you." It's your response that determines if that strength becomes the foundation of something lasting. Think about it. The greatest connections are built not on perfection, but on the courage to be real. When you accept his past without judgment, you create a safe space where he feels free to be himself. And in doing so, you become the woman who doesn't just know his story, but inspires the next chapter. So, what's your next move? It's time to step into your power. When he reveals his past, meet him with the unwavering confidence of a woman who knows her worth. Show him that his vulnerability isn't met with weakness, but with strength. And trust me, that's the kind of energy that makes a man run after you, not because he has to, but because he chooses to. If you're ready to embrace this power, hit like, subscribe, and step into this journey with us. Write this in the comments. I am strong enough to hold his truth. Let this be your declaration, because you are. Stay tuned for more strategies that will empower you to master the art of connection through Dark Stoic Psychology. You've got this. Number 4. If he talks about his fears, he's handing you his vulnerability. Hold it with power. Have you ever been in a moment where a man, someone seemingly unshakable and composed, sits down, lets out a breath, and starts revealing something he's terrified of? His fear of failure, his doubts about his path, or even the shadows of insecurity he carries, but never shows the world. Maybe you freeze, unsure how to react. Or worse, you dismiss it, thinking, "What am I supposed to do with this?" Brave women like you don't let these moments slip by. They know that when a man opens the door to his fears, he's giving you more than just words. He's handing you the rarest key to his soul. Men are conditioned by society to wear their fears like armor, hidden and unspoken. They have been told to stay strong, to conquer alone, to mask vulnerability with stoicism. But here's the twist. Even the most stoic men crave someone who doesn't see their fears as cracks in their foundation, but as the bridges to their truest selves. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that vulnerability, when handled with strength and compassion, isn't a sign of weakness. It's an opportunity to forge a connection so deep, he'll never see you the same way again. Imagine this. His fears are like an untamed flame, flickering in a dark room. Most people shy away, afraid of getting burned. But you're not most people. You step closer, not to extinguish the flame, but to light a torch of understanding. When he sees that you can hold his vulnerability with grace and power, you don't just become someone he can trust, you become someone he can't stop thinking about. As the saying goes, the strongest love is built on the deepest truths. Let's take a moment to reframe your mindset. When he shares his fears, you might think, does this mean he's weak? Absolutely not. In fact, it's the opposite. It means he trusts you enough to show his humanity, something men rarely do. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that men don't expose their vulnerabilities to everyone. This is a calculated risk for him, a leap into emotional uncertainty, because he sees you as someone who can meet his openness with strength, not judgment. Now, what should you do when he talks about his fears? Brave women don't try to fix him or diminish what he's sharing. They listen, they absorb, and they respond with presence. Instead of offering cliches like, "You'll get through it," or "Don't worry about it," say something like, "That must feel heavy. I admire you for sharing it with me." These words aren't just supportive, they're powerful because they show him you're not afraid of his darkness. You're strong enough to sit with it and see the man beneath it. Let me remind you, when a man talks about his fears, he's testing the waters. He's wondering, can she handle the parts of me I've hidden from the world? Your reaction in this moment will either strengthen his trust or push him back into his emotional fortress. Dark Stoic Psychology gives you the tools to pass this test, not by trying to change him, but by meeting him with empathy and your own unwavering energy. He doesn't want a savior. He wants a partner who can hold space for him to evolve. Think of this as a dance between strength and vulnerability. When he shares his fears, he's leading with his truth, and it's your turn to respond with balance. This doesn't mean carrying his burdens. It means showing him that his fears don't intimidate you, because you're anchored in your own power. Relationships thrive when both people can share their unfiltered selves without fear of rejection. This is how you inspire him to chase you, not with words, but with the way you handle his heart. Here's a powerful metaphor to remember. His fears are like a fortress with a drawbridge. Most people only see the walls and walk away. But when he lowers the bridge for you, he's inviting you into his most guarded space. Enter, not as someone who needs to tear the walls down, but as someone who stands firm, respecting the fortress while bringing light to the shadows inside. Brave women understand that vulnerability is a gift. It's an opportunity to deepen trust and create a bond that's unshakable. When you master the art of listening with intention and responding with compassion, you become the person he looks to when the world feels too heavy. That's the power of Dark Stoic Psychology. It doesn't just teach you to understand him. It teaches you to elevate him while standing tall yourself. Number 5. When a man invites you into his daily life, he's showing you where you belong. Have you ever wondered why a man who seemed distant suddenly starts sharing the seemingly mundane details of his day? At first, it might feel insignificant. Little snippets about his morning coffee mishap, the stress of a work meeting, or even the song stuck in his head. But here's the truth, brave women. When a man invites you into his daily life, he's not just filling the silence. He's opening the door to a part of his world that he doesn't share with just anyone. He's saying, in the most subtle but powerful way, this is where you belong. But let's address the questions that may be circling your mind. Why does it matter if he talks about small things? How does this help me know if he truly values me? The answer lies in understanding the layered complexity of male psychology and the teachings of Dark Stoic Psychology. Men are like fortresses, their emotions guarded, their actions deliberate. When he invites you into his everyday life, it's his way of lowering the drawbridge, offering you entry to a realm reserved for someone truly special. Think about it. Men don't spend time sharing their routines with those who don't matter. Their days are compartmentalized, their energy focused. So when he chooses to text you about the chaos of his morning, or the random thought that crossed his mind, he's not just communicating, he's building a bridge. He's showing you that his world, no matter how small the detail, feels incomplete without your presence. This is where the power of Dark Stoic Psychology becomes your ally. Stoic philosophy teaches that men value control and purpose, often reserving their deepest emotions for moments of true trust. When he starts sharing the unfiltered pieces of his life, it's a signal that he trusts you enough to drop his guard. And here's the empowering part. How you respond to these moments determines whether he continues to open up or retreats behind his walls. Imagine this. You're the calm eye in the storm of his hectic day, the one person who doesn't judge his spilled coffee or criticize his offbeat humor. That's where your power lies, not in demanding his attention, but in becoming the person he can't help but share it with. When he senses your genuine interest, your presence becomes irresistible. He'll crave the sense of peace and connection you bring, and soon, it's not just you fitting into his daily life, it's him running after yours. Let me give you a metaphor. Think of his daily life as a puzzle, each piece representing an aspect of who he is. By inviting you in, he's handing you a piece and asking, can you see how this fits? If you recognize its significance and respond with understanding, you're not just completing the picture, you're becoming part of it. This is why Dark Stoic Psychology is so transformative. It teaches you to see beyond the surface and into the layers of what he's really offering, a place in his world. Here's a quote to remember. It's not the grand gestures, but the quiet moments that reveal where your heart truly belongs. When he talks about the little things, he's showing you that you're more than someone he admires from a distance. You're someone he wants to integrate into his reality. But let's make one thing clear, brave women. This isn't about being his emotional crutch or losing yourself in his routine. It's about meeting his energy with your own strength. Don't just react to his world. Invite him into yours. Share the details of your day, your dreams, your ambitions. A high-value woman doesn't just listen, she inspires. Let him see that your presence is a gift, not something to be taken for granted. By mastering the principles of Dark Stoic Psychology, you'll not only understand his actions, but guide the dynamic of your relationship. When you embrace your own power, when you show him that you're not waiting for his validation, but creating a connection rooted in mutual respect, you become the one he can't stop thinking about. So, here's your challenge. The next time he shares a detail from his day, recognize it for what it is, an invitation. Respond with presence, curiosity, and strength, and watch as he starts to see you not just as part of his daily life, but as the best part of it. If this resonates with you, brave women, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and join us for the journey ahead. Share your power by writing this in the comments. I belong where I'm valued. Let this be your declaration. And stay tuned, because the next strategy will take this connection to an entirely new level. Number 6. If he lets you into his personal space, he's asking you to step into his reality. Have you ever found yourself questioning whether you truly belong in his world? Maybe he keeps parts of himself so tightly guarded, it feels like you're standing at the edge of his reality, peering into a life he's not ready to share. Brave women, let's get one thing straight. If a man opens the doors to his personal space, it's not just a casual act. It's a profound gesture, a silent invitation into his unfiltered world. But how do you recognize it? And more importantly, how do you rise to meet it with the confidence that will make him see you as the one he cannot live without? Men aren't like open books. They're more like locked vaults. Their personal space, their home, their favorite chair, the playlist they listen to while winding down, is their sanctuary. For a man rooted in Stoic principles, his environment isn't just a physical location. It's an extension of his identity, a realm where he feels in control. If he invites you into that space, he's asking you to step into the raw, unpolished version of himself, the side he doesn't show the world. And that, dear women, is where the magic of Dark Stoic Psychology comes into play. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us to recognize that this act is far from small. It's not about just hanging out. It's about trust. When a man lets you into his personal space, he's not only revealing his vulnerabilities, he's testing you, gauging whether you'll accept him as he is, cluttered corners and all. This isn't about picking up clues like a detective. It's about stepping into his reality with grace, curiosity, and quiet strength. Picture this. He brings you into his apartment, and it's not Pinterest perfect. There's a stack of books he's halfway through, a coffee mug on the counter, and a playlist humming in the background. Every detail tells a story. The books reveal his aspirations. The mug hints at his routine, and the playlist whispers his mood. Brave women see these things for what they are, clues to his soul, fragments of his truth. They don't judge, they observe, they understand, and they engage. But maybe a thought crosses your mind. What if I don't fit into his world? Here's where your power lies. You don't have to fit in. You were never meant to shrink yourself to match someone else's mold. Instead, show him that your presence enhances his reality. He didn't invite you in because you're just anyone. He invited you because, in his own way, he's asking, "Can you see me for who I am and still stay?" Remember what Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Apply this to your connection with him. His personal space isn't perfect. It's not supposed to be. It's his fortress, and if he's letting you in, he's showing you his most authentic self. Your role is to meet that authenticity with your own. Don't overthink how to impress him or worry about being enough. Brave women know their worth and don't seek validation in someone else's space. They carry their power with them wherever they go. Dark Stoic Psychology reminds us that this moment isn't about perfection, it's about presence. When you walk into his world, notice how he behaves. Is he at ease, or is he watching your reaction? If he's nervous, it means he's stepping out of his comfort zone for you, and that, ladies, is a sign of emotional investment. If he's relaxed, it means he trusts you implicitly, a trust that's worth nurturing with your own calm confidence. The question isn't whether you can fit into his reality, it's whether he can see you as the woman who makes his reality richer, more vibrant, more grounded. Show him you're not afraid of his mess, his quirks, or his layers. Brave women don't shy away from authenticity. They thrive in it. Let him see that you're someone who can handle the depth of his world without losing the brilliance of your own. And here's the beauty of it. When you respect his space without surrendering your own, he'll run after you. Why? Because you've shown him what it means to have a partner who is both independent and deeply connected, a rare and irresistible combination. So, the next time he lets you into his personal space, step into it with purpose. Observe without judgment, engage with curiosity, and radiate the self-assured energy that tells him you are more than just a visitor. You're someone he wants to keep. Brave women, this is your power. To be fully yourself in his reality and make him crave your presence more than ever. If this resonates with you, like this video and subscribe to the channel for more transformative insights. Write in the comments, "I step into his reality with my power." Let this be your mantra, and let it remind you of your strength. Stay tuned, because next, we're diving into the ultimate strategy to make him see you as his greatest asset. Number 7. When a man exposes his raw vulnerabilities, he's begging to be seen. Answer with strength. Have you ever seen a moment of fragility flash across his face, only for him to bury it beneath his stoic mask? Have you wondered why he doesn't just say what he feels, why his words stop just short of revealing his true self? Brave women, let me tell you this. When a man shows you his raw vulnerabilities, he's not just opening a door. He's handing you a mirror to his soul. He's silently asking, "Can you see me for who I really am? Will you stay?" And how you answer that silent question has the power to transform your connection. Most men are trained by the world to wear their strength like armor, to hide their insecurities, fears, and pain. They're told that vulnerability is weakness, that exposing it means losing control. But here's the paradox. When he finally peels back those layers and shares his inner struggles with you, it's not a sign of fragility. It's a profound act of trust. It's his way of inviting you into the parts of him he doesn't show the world. And make no mistake, this moment is a gift, a rare glimpse into his guarded heart. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that strength isn't about suppressing emotions, but mastering them. A man who dares to share his fears or insecurities with you is testing the waters of your own strength. He wants to know, can you handle the weight of his truth without flinching? Can you meet him with a presence so steady that it makes him feel safe enough to share more? This isn't about fixing him or carrying his burdens for him. It's about being the kind of woman who sees his vulnerability and answers it with grace and power. Think of vulnerability as a fire. It can be wild, unpredictable, and intense. When he exposes it, he's inviting you to step closer. Will you fan the flames with judgment or smother them with indifference? Or will you nurture that fire, turning it into a source of warmth and light that deepens your connection? Brave women understand that holding space for a man's vulnerabilities isn't about losing themselves. It's about showing him what true emotional resilience looks like. Imagine this. He tells you about a failure he can't shake, a fear that haunts him, or a decision he regrets. This isn't a cry for help, it's a challenge. It's his way of saying, here's the real me, scars and all. Are you strong enough to see me without turning away? Your response in that moment defines the foundation of your relationship. Do you dismiss him with platitudes? Or do you meet him with the unshakable confidence of a woman who knows her worth? Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up when you can't control the outcome, says Brené Brown. Men may not phrase it this way, but when they open up, they're stepping into the unknown, hoping you'll show them that being seen doesn't mean being rejected. This is where Dark Stoic Psychology becomes your greatest ally. By understanding his inner workings, the philosophies that shape his mind and the fears that guide his actions, you gain the power to connect with him on a level few others can. So how do you respond? First, resist the urge to solve or analyze. He doesn't need a therapist. He needs a partner. Meet his vulnerability with acknowledgement and empathy. Say, thank you for sharing that with me. I know it wasn't easy. These simple words hold immense power. They tell him you value his trust and see his courage, even in moments when he doubts himself. But don't stop there. Share a piece of your own truth. Reciprocity is the cornerstone of intimacy. When you reveal a part of yourself, your own fears, your own scars, you show him that vulnerability isn't a one-way street. It's a bond, a shared experience that strengthens the connection between two souls. Remember, brave women, that your strength doesn't lie in how much you carry for others, but in how you inspire them to carry themselves. By standing steady in the face of his fears, you teach him that vulnerability is not something to fear, but something to embrace. He'll see you not as a woman who fixes him, but as one who inspires him to be better. If this resonates with you, hit like and subscribe to join a community of powerful women. Unlocking the Secrets of Dark Stoic Psychology. And write this in the comments. Strength answers vulnerability with courage. Let that be your mantra. Together, we'll explore the strategies that deepen connections and build relationships that thrive on trust, respect, and unbreakable bonds. Stay tuned. The next step will show you how to make him not just open up, but run after you with the intensity you deserve. Number 8. If a man envisions a future with you, he's already investing. Match his energy. Have you ever wondered why some men seem hesitant to talk about the future, while others casually let phrases like "we could" or "us" slip into conversations? What does it mean when he starts painting a picture of his life that includes you? For the brave and powerful women reading this, let me tell you something clear and unshakable. When a man envisions a future with you, it's not just idle talk, it's an investment. And like any investment, it carries weight, intention, and vulnerability. The question is, will you recognize the significance and rise to meet his energy? Men aren't as casual as they may appear when it comes to the future. They live by a silent code, often shaped by Stoic philosophy, a code that values action, stability, and foresight over fleeting emotions. A man rooted in this mindset doesn't discuss his long-term plans lightly. He protects his future like a fortress, revealing glimpses of it only to those he sees as worthy of sharing it. When he begins to include you in his plans, it's not just words, it's an unspoken declaration that you matter deeply. Think about it. If he's talking about someday, trips, joint goals, or even the possibility of building a home together, he's giving you a rare key to his guarded world. This is not an accident. Men who value their time, their vision, and their purpose don't hand that over to just anyone. He's not only investing in you, he's betting on your strength, your courage, and your ability to match him step for step. Now, you might wonder, how do I respond? How do I show him I understand the weight of what he's offering? Here's where Dark Stoic Psychology changes everything. By mastering the interplay of Stoic principles and emotional intelligence, you don't just respond, you become the kind of woman who turns his vision into a reality. You embody calm confidence, showing him that you're not merely along for the ride. You're ready to co-pilot the journey. Don't tell me what you value. Show me your calendar and I'll tell you what you value, said James Clear. And this applies to relationships too. If his words about the future align with his actions, if he's including you in decisions, seeking your opinion, and showing commitment, you know he's serious. Brave women recognize these moments for what they are, opportunities to deepen the connection and solidify their place in his life. But remember, matching his energy doesn't mean losing yourself in his world. It means bringing your vision, your purpose, and your fire to the table. A man doesn't fall for a woman who bends herself to fit his life. He's captivated by the one who stands boldly in her own power and makes him want to grow alongside her. This is the essence of Dark Stoic Psychology, becoming a partner in his journey while fiercely honoring your own. Let's take a metaphorical example. Picture two rivers converging. Each one flows with its own strength, carving its unique path through the landscape. When they meet, they don't lose their identities. They merge, creating something stronger and more enduring together. This is the energy you bring when a man starts talking about a future with you. You don't diminish yourself to fit into his vision. You enhance it with your own. And yes, there will be fears. There will be moments when you wonder, what if his vision doesn't align perfectly with mine? What if I'm not ready? Brave women don't shy away from these questions. They face them head on. They understand that relationships aren't about perfection. They're about growth, about building something together that neither of you could create alone. When he talks about the future, he's also testing. Can you see his vision and share your own without hesitation? Can you match his steady resolve with your own fierce determination? This is not the time to shrink back or second-guess yourself. This is your moment to rise, to show him that you're not only the woman he can dream with, you're the woman who will inspire him to act on those dreams. If you've reached this point in the journey, know this: the man who shares his future with you is inviting you into the deepest parts of his life. He's placing a bet on your strength and your capacity to build something meaningful with him. Don't just meet him halfway. Bring your full energy, your full power, and watch him rise to meet you. Now is your turn to act. Hit like, subscribe, and share this video with the brave women in your life who deserve nothing less than the best. And write this in the comments: I am the future he can't ignore. Let it be your declaration, your mantra, your unshakable truth. Together, we'll continue unlocking the secrets of Dark Stoic Psychology, empowering you to create the connections you deserve. Conclusion. Brave women, remember this. When a man envisions a future with you, he's not just sharing plans. He's revealing his heart, his trust, and his belief in your power to stand beside him. This isn't about waiting to be chosen. It's about stepping into the energy of someone who knows her worth and commands respect. By mastering the principles of Dark Stoic Psychology, you transform uncertainty into clarity, doubt into confidence, and connection into something unshakable. You hold the key to unlocking a relationship where he doesn't just see you as part of his life. He can't imagine one without you. If this resonated with you, like this video and share it with other strong, powerful women who deserve nothing less than the best. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Together, we're building a community of women who rise, thrive, and inspire. Let's grow stronger, one truth at a time.